What's up, parents? Hey, welcome back to Teenager Tuesday. And today we have something really special. First off, let me introduce myself. My name is Elijah Keck. I am the student pastor at the McKinney campus. Who are you?
I'm Parker Davis, and I am a student at the McKinney campus.
Yeah.
Woo!
We have something very special for Teenager Tuesday. We are doing a couple of these actually with students sharing their testimony of what God has done in their life the last year at camp. And so Parker has a great story, and so I'm gonna let her get into it in a second. But I am just excited. If your kids, if you're nervous about your kids coming to camp, or you have like they just don't want to come, getting them to go to a big event, camp, SKO, any of these things is such a big deal because God can jumpstart something huge in their life. And so I want to encourage you with that. Let's make that happen next year, Camp 2022. That could be your student's year. So Parker, tell us about you. Tell us about, getting to church for the first time. Everything about Parker.
Okay, so I'm Parker, and I'm a senior now. I go to McKinney North. And my story with Hope starts, I guess, my freshman year. We used to go to church on and off, but it was like we didn't really connect with it. And it was more about tradition and less about like relationship. And then I guess freshman year, we decided to like start looking around for churches. And we looked at one and it didn't really fit. And then we went to Hope. And ever since then, it just clicked. And then I guess my first big event was Dig. Thank goodness my mom forced me to go to that.
Wow.
Yeah, where I met some amazing leaders and then just made some really awesome friends.
That was my first event at
Really?
Hope Students, Dig 2019.
Wow.
So that's my first time I met Parker. Crazy world. We're
Oh,
living in.
yeah.
Crazy world. So I've known Parker for a little bit. And so you've kind of been, like, you've been coming to church, but you've been busy with a lot of stuff. Tell us a little bit about that and what your walk with God looks like in this past year, compared to like what God's doing right now,
Okay, oh my gosh, it's a big difference. So I guess this whole year I've been caught up in cheer because I did competitive cheer and school cheer, and I just never had time. I had practices every single Wednesday. And then I guess beginning of April is when I kind of felt like the switch, like there was nothing left of myself. And then I just felt God completely take over and my life radically changed. And then I felt that I needed to quit cheer. So I quit competitive cheer. So now I can come on Wednesdays, which is awesome.
I feel bad about it, but then I'm like, no, this is awesome.
No, it's pretty
This is
cool.
awesome.
Like, I will admit it's pretty awesome. Not scourging y'all from like sports or anything.
Make them quit their sports and get to church.
Yeah, everyone quit.
Just kidding.
Yeah, don't do that. Well, unless God tells you to.
Unless God tells you.
Yeah, right. And then, let's see. So, quit cheer. And then I've been just obeying and pursuing God, praying for opportunities, and just really getting more in tune with my faith, coming to church more because I could. And then I guess it was maybe like a Tuesday on the way to school. It was like pouring down rain, and I was just like, God, you are so glorious. And I started praying so hard for an opportunity to serve.
Yeah.
And then the next day, I said this in my testimony, my other testimony, but Kira texted me, and it was like, hey, we have an opportunity for you to serve. Would you like to come to middle school camp? And it was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So it was insane. Like, God answers your prayers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's funny. The day we were thinking through leaders, if you want to be a leader at camp, hit me up, please.
That's
But we were thinking
awesome.
through student leaders because having student leaders is such a big deal. Students already connect with them. Like middle school students connect with high schoolers so well. They already look up to them. And so Parker was actually somebody that we were thinking through, who else could we get? And I was like, I don't know if Parker's busy with cheer or what, but we need to invite her to be a part of it. So it's just crazy how God works in that way. But Parker going to camp, going in prayerful, like you said, like opportunity, thinking through what God is going to do for you and do in you and do through you. Talk to us about, first off, leading middle school camp and how awesome that was because she crushed it. They got last place, but that's okay. We won't talk about it.
We won't talk about that.
But then talk about what happened at high school camp and just the change in you.
So I guess I was really exhausted going into camp. And so night one, I felt a little unsure of myself. But then I knew that God would provide because if he makes you a promise, it's not like he's not going to let you down. And so I just trusted in him. And then I guess by the morning of the first full day is when I was like, okay, I'm going to put all my trust in God. I know that he's going to do amazing things. And so then I slowly just started connecting with the middle school girls so well. And I love them with my whole heart. They're amazing.
Yeah, they are.
It's like, I didn't expect them to be so vulnerable and so sweet and kind. I thought they were like slimy middle schoolers. But they're not.
I mean,
they're not.
You're right.
Most of the time. Anyways, so then I think it was night 3 of middle school camp. I had someone who I'd been talking to about like thinking about ministry and college and all that stuff. And she's just like, I feel like God is putting it on my heart to tell you about ministry. And I was like, yeah. I was already thinking about it. And then I was like, okay, so this is obviously something that's a possibility.
Yeah.
And then high school camp.
Let me stop you there. Midweek, we have we go to dinner with all of our leaders who are at camp, who are staying, and she tells me at lunch, hey, I feel like I might be called to ministry. I feel like there's something there. And I was like, okay, pray about it. High school camp, really pray about that. Which the whole time I'm like, obviously you're called to ministry. Anyways, keep going. High school camp hits. It's your time to shine.
Yeah, so high school camp, I was so exhausted but so excited because I just finished middle school camp, but I was ready to be a student and like have God move in my life and other lives still. And so I will admit, I think it was like night 2, I was exhausted. I barely paid attention to the service. I took good notes though, so I remember what it was about. Anyways, so I was just really tired and I was like, kind of want to go back to the cabin. And then like all of a sudden I got so focused and then we were praying and it was like a separate topic, but it was like, if you need something, like go to the front with a leader and pray. And so I was like, for me personally, this specific topic, I don't like, I feel okay with it right now. And then they just kept like pushing, like go and like find a leader. And for some reason, I just like, my feet were cemented to the ground. And I was like, I can't move. Like, I really want to go talk to Elijah right now. And I haven't told you this yet, but
That's
I really
awesome.
wanted to go see you and pray with you, but I just couldn't. So I prayed and I was like, okay, so give me the courage to go up there or bring him to me and meet me in the middle. And then that's when you came to me, and I haven't told you that, but
That's so cool.
yeah. So, and then you were like praying over me with ministry, and I was like, oh, all right, it's real.
I told her, I said, praying for her, I said, I think you're called to ministry. And she was crying. She was, I know. It was awesome. But man, what an incredible story that this is. I mean, just even like a few months ago of like, we like barely got to see each other because you were so busy with sports and all sorts of stuff. And then just what God was able to do in your life. So this is what I want. The last kind of thing is I want you to encourage parents out there with students that are in sports maybe, or maybe their students don't want to come or they're nervous about it. What would be like your selling point for camp, but just Hope students in general?
Okay, so first of all, force your kids to do it, because my mom literally forced me to go to Dig, and I'm so grateful. So they'll get mad at you, they'll be uncomfortable, but force them to do it and show them this video. Y'all, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Okay, so go to camp, go to all these events. It's amazing and it's life-changing.
Yeah, I always say this: events, you can't live as a Christian off events, but they're great starting places for a lot of people.
Right.
And I think, man, thank you for sharing. Testimonies are so powerful in the way that, you know, your story can just change somebody else's story completely and help them figure out what God's calling them to do. And so one really cool thing I want to promote is we have Student Region. We have a one-day Student Region on July 15th for students. You can sign up online at hopefellowship.net. Go sign up there if your students are, it's not just students struggling with addiction, it's students just trying to figure out who God is. And I think all students should be able to go through this program. So July 15th, we might be able to link this below, I don't know. But you go to our website and you can find it there. But I'm going to close it out with the classic one. We all know what it is. First of all, thank you for watching this. But you can do this. You're not alone. God is with you.
God is with you.
And so are we. Love you guys.